What's up, guys? Jeff Cavalier, AthleteX.com. Outside of the gym today, because I don't live in there. I actually have other things I have to do too, but today is still going to be to try to help you, because supplementation is sort of that other aspect of lifting. And most of the time, people want to know more about supplementation than even the training. And there's a reason for it. I know, I get it, I understand, because it takes a lot less work to take something than it does to actually go in the gym and do something. But no less important because so many people do it. Now, that being said, let me set the stage for how this whole video is going to shake out. First of all, I am going to review a supplement, but don't ask me to review other supplements because I'm not going to do that. We have our own supplements. I created my own supplements for a very important reason, because I feel like it addressed some of the shortcomings of the industry in the first place. Secondly, I don't want to get in the habit of trying to go over somebody else's product because I don't really want to speak about their products. However, to underscore a very, very important point for you, I'm going to do that here today. Okay, so now that being said, the name of the company is USN. The product is called Hyperbolic Mass. More important than that is the individual who wrote to me and asked me about this, because they were, from what I gather, a high school student in the UK. And I think this is a UK company because I don't know who they are. But they wanted to know if this product would be great for them for packing on mass fast. They wanted to know how they could pack on mass as fast as possible. Now, right away, I have a problem with the fact that they're relying on supplementation and even thinking and having the expectations of packing on mass fast, because anybody that will sell you that bullshit should not be listened to, okay? First and foremost. And I don't care whether that comes in the form of a supplement or whether that comes in the form of a workout. Hard work is always going to be that sort of little nagging little step in the middle that you have to make sure you figure out if you want to pack on mass. Okay, but that being said, he wanted to know what he could do because he was on the very, very thin side. Now, pointing to this supplement, we actually had responded to him first by saying, hey, check out the video that Jeff already did on weight gainers and why he called them horse shit, because that's exactly what I called them. And I went into the reasons why they're just loaded with sugar. They're non-productive calories. They're not what you need. You know, and I tried to discourage anybody from trying to rely on them for packing on mass, even back then. But it wasn't enough, because he said, but you don't understand. This particular product has excellent reviews. It's got all the protein that I need. It's not loaded with useless sugars. Everything they're saying about it is really good. Let me show you why I feel like this is an important video for us to go over to illustrate what's so deceiving about all this nonsense, okay? So we look at this. And if I look, Jesse, take a look at the label. I mean, first thing I see is, first of all-in-one gainer. So if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking as a kid who's actually really desperate to put on size, this is all I need to gain mass. It's hyperbolic, everything, all the buzzwords are there. 51 grams of protein here. Okay, that's very clear from this. Then, it's in that really faint white, but it says 40 scoops. So it's like, wow, that's a lot in one bottle. 51 grams of protein and 4.7 grams of creatine. So I'm like, that actually has it, high levels of intrinsic BCAAs and glutamine, it's got everything. Okay, now let's see how truthful that really is. We look at the price, $45.99, and that is for pounds. We did the conversion, it's like 56 bucks. So it's not cheap, okay? Now when we come down here, we look at the supplement facts. The first thing I want you to be educated about and realize is there's two columns here, okay? There's a 100-gram serving, which provides only 409 calories, and there's a 300-gram serving that provides 1,226 calories. Well, when we're talking about a weight gainer, obviously he's interested in the 1,226 calories. He's focused on this, and I know he's focused on this because he referenced the 51 grams of protein, which here says 53 grams of protein, okay? And he also referenced the creatine in it, which is 4.7 grams, but only if you're in this column over here, which is the 300-gram serving. So the funny thing, though, is he also tells us that in the literature that it bragged about only having 17 grams of sugar, which for a big weight gainer that's packing all those calories, man, that would be pretty impressive, unless it was loaded with fat. Well, we take another look. The 17 grams of sugar here are in this column. So why are we cherry picking and going back and forth between the 100 gram per serving column when we want to do sugar, and then the 300 gram serving when we want to do the creatine and the protein and everything else, which, by the way, 24 grams of fat here, 15 grams of saturated fat. Again, I don't really necessarily have anything against fat, but I always said that these things are like candy bars. You either get your flavor from fat or sugar, but that's really about it. Okay, so now that's what we're looking at. Now let's get even worse. Let's see why it's worse, why this is really, this is what pisses me off. If you look at it, look at the size, the serving size of the bottle here, Jesse, 2 kilograms. Now, I don't know if that was done intentionally or not, but 2 kilograms, a kilogram is 1,000 grams. So we're looking at 2,000 grams in this bottle. Well, if we know that what the benefits that we're looking at and what this young man was looking for was 300 grams, we know that if he takes that, 300 grams of pop, my math wasn't very good, but I do know that that's not even 7 servings. That's not even a full 7 servings. So if he's taking this every day, this wonderful mass gainer is going to last him less than 7 days, not even a week. So he's paying $45.99 in pounds or $56 per week. You multiply it, he's going to need actually more than that. He's going to need, that's only getting him 28 days. He's going to need about 2.5 bottles or whatever. I'm sorry, 4.5 bottles. So he's spending well over $200 for this impressive mass gainer. Okay? I say that very loosely. Now, we haven't even gotten into the quality. Because now when we get into the quality, we go down and we start looking at the actual ingredients more. We realize when they claimed about this sugar, first of all, that wasn't the right claim. There's actually 51 grams of sugar in that 300 gram serving, but that's not even truthful because there's 195 grams of total carbs, 51 of which are sugars. I'm not buying it, guys, because if you look into the actual detail of the breakdown here, the number one ingredient in this whole thing is their carbohydrate matrix, which sounds really good, but it's not, which is filled with dextrose monohydrate, which is high fructose corn syrup and fructose. So there's I bet you they're loading up on the ladder too there, loading up, and they're underreporting drastically how much sugar is in this. There's got to be well over 100 grams of sugar in this, and that makes it really, really shitty. Okay, really, really shitty. And on top of that, then we get into their protein sources. They have a bunch of soy protein. They have, the bottom line is, guys, like I'm losing my voice because I'm getting all friggin' worked up here. But the bottom line is I have no axe to grind with this company. And if you think that this is in any way a commercial for my supplements, guess what the punchline is for this young kid? Don't buy my stuff. It's not appropriate for you. Matter of fact, our RX2, which is our protein powder, only has under 200 calories for a serving. It doesn't even have that many calories in it. This is not meant to bulk up. What he needs to do instead is he needs to get dedicated to 2 things. Number 1, proper nutrition, meaning he has to start eating a lot more calories. My stuff won't cut it. It won't. This stuff could, but it's loaded with shit. This is not going to be productive for him. We talk about it all the time. I've got Jesse here. I got my own personal hard gainer, and he's pretty thin. And he makes a habit out of eating tons and tons of calories of awful, sugary, non-productive calories. And it doesn't equate to more size. He happens to be blessed with a fast metabolism that just churns through that without issue. If he wants to start putting on productive muscle, he's going to have to start feeding it more productive calories, meaning he's going to have to start eating a lot of good foods, a lot in higher quantities of better foods. And that's what he needs to do too. This young kid here has to start eating high quality foods first and foremost before he ever starts looking into supplementation. And the second thing he needs to do is kind of go back a little bit and say maybe it's not all about supplementation, it's about the hard work too. And I have to start committing myself to the hard work. Now, before I would run and recommend to him, oh, just do all the barbell lifts, get strong at your deadlift, get strong at your squat, get strong. Sometimes that's not even an appropriate place to start because I've seen kids get under the bar that don't belong there. Flat out don't belong there. Their body structure is not ready to handle it. Their form they don't even know how to handle the bar. That is not the first place necessarily I would start. It's a good place he's got to get to eventually, no doubt. He's got to get down that path where he starts doing the compound lifts and get stronger all the time. But it might not be the best place for him to start. But there's no equation where he's not going to be somehow getting involved in hard work and dedicating himself to that and allowing time for this to occur. It ain't going to happen fast, guys. Not with supplements, not with my supplements, nobody's stuff. Hard-ass work is what it's going to take. Okay? If he got all that in place, then certainly at that point, that's when I would recommend, Athlete RX2 is going to give you far better quality than this without all the excess BS and without all the sugar, far better than that. But again, this is not about boasting about my supplements or anything about that. It's about making sure that you understand where this deception lies and where these games are being played and how hopefully you don't become susceptible to those yourself. So, as I said, hopefully a helpful video, even though we're not in the gym, there's still so much more that plays into the whole equation here, and a lot can be learned sometimes just sitting behind your desk and reading what you read online. So, guys, if you found this video helpful, make sure you leave your comments and thumbs up below. In the meantime, Again, don't ask me to start reviewing other people's supplements. I don't do that for a very specific reason. I just want to illustrate here, this is a major problem that we all encounter, me included. I was in the same boat. But hopefully now with more education, you're not going to be susceptible to that either. All right, guys, we'll be back here again soon. See you.